looking ahead to the World Humanitarian Summit, what's your key ask in advance of that summit, and what's your key call to action?
Certainly, let's keep the focus on the individual and his or her circumstance, and the need for this to be aligned with clear reality, the need for it to be grounded in the circumstances of the millions and millions that are voiceless, that won't be part of this conference. The need to make sure that the role of local stakeholders are critical in designing, drafting the overall response, I think, will be critical.
My expectation is that at the World Humanitarian Summit, we don't try to solve all the problems, right? I think my expectation is that we try to somewhat develop an agenda for the next 5 years. What are the critical issues that we as a collective want to try to, with all our mandate and complementary, try to resolve? I think that's one expectation. My second point is I think there is a need to recognize that we have moved from a rather, I would say, rigid, structured system, UN, Red Cross, NGOs, to something a bit more fluid, which I don't know how to call it, maybe an ecosystem, right? And we need to recognize that. We do need to recognize in the world of tomorrow, there will be more and more structured, and professional humanitarian, as we are here, the Red Cross, Red Crescent, but also working alongside with unstructured, people themselves, community doing their own proposal, helping here and there. So I think we have to be careful. The World Humanitarian Summit is not just about somewhat the professional doing humanitarian aid, but it's also about all the people willing to contribute.
Well, the thing we would love to see come out of, or go into and come out of the World Humanitarian Summit, is this spirit of collaboration, the spirit of coalition, where all of us, no matter what organization we're from, are willing to put everything we have into a blend and a platform that transforms the culture of the world into one of resilience.
First of all, the World Humanitarian Summit needs to address the way risks are rising, also due to the changing climate. And then I'd also call on the World Humanitarian Summit to make use of the opportunities that are arising because of all the discussions on climate change. There's a lot of innovation happening, there's a lot of new financing streams occurring, and I think it's something that the humanitarian world can make use of.
When a disaster struck in my country, the government have their own disaster committee. Our society have our own disaster committee. And usually we are the one who usually comes out first with our assessment report. And when assistance comes in, the government disaster committee usually argues that anything that comes in should come through them, and then they'll distribute it. And that includes assistance which comes from our sister societies and our partners. And that, the way I see it, is being the humanitarian assistance have been politicized. So I hope that the Humanitarian Summit next year will seriously look at avoiding this happening in every area, in every country.